I like to make the final decision 1 second before it's because things change, especially with war.
At this very moment, warships are moving across the Mediterranean, airstrikes are reported over Tehran, and missiles are lighting up the skies over Jerusalem. Inside the White House, Donald Trump insists that no final decision has been made, yet the Pentagon has already mobilized, Iran has vowed it will not surrender, and the world is bracing for what could become the most dangerous escalation in the Middle East since the U.S. invasion of Iraq in 2003. The United States has edged dangerously close to direct military confrontation with Iran, while President Trump publicly wavers, speaking cryptically about ultimatums and waiting until the final second. The facts on the ground show a rapidly escalating conflict, one that threatens to spill far beyond the region. This video investigates the strategic military moves by the US and Iran, the significance of Israeli involvement, the nuclear question at the heart of it all, and the stark human and geopolitical consequences if war breaks out. Earlier this week, President Donald Trump emerged from the White House Situation Room and addressed the press with ambiguity and menace.
Iran know what's happening. Maybe you could call it an ultimatum. The ultimate ultimatum.
Trump confirmed that he had met with his full national security team, including the Secretaries of Defense and State, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and intelligence officials, to discuss military options regarding Iran. Fact check: CNN confirmed that this high-level briefing occurred following increased Iranian missile fire over Israeli territory. Trump has not signed a formal war resolution, nor has Congress voted on authorizing the use of force against Iran. However, presidential military action without congressional approval is legal for up to 60 days under the 1973 War Powers Resolution. Despite this, 3 U.S. aircraft carriers, the USS Gerald R. Ford, USS Eisenhower, and USS Truman, have been deployed to the eastern Mediterranean. The Ford in particular is the U.S. Navy's most technologically advanced supercarrier, equipped with emails, electromagnetic aircraft launch system, a complement of over 75 aircraft including FA-18 Super Hornets, and dual nuclear reactors enabling 25-plus years of continuous operation. This is not symbolic. It's strategic muscle flexing, whether as deterrence or preparation.
The loss America receives will probably be much more than the damage Iran will bear.
At the same time, Iran delivered a 3-page letter to the United Nations, alleging that there is undeniable evidence of direct United States involvement in the war against Iran. CNN verified this letter via Iranian sources. What does this mean diplomatically? Iran is attempting to frame U.S. involvement as a violation of international law, potentially justifying counterstrikes or legal appeals through the UN Security Council. Iran's historical position is to claim defensive retaliation rather than initiating aggression. Newly verified video aired by CNN shows Iranian ballistic missiles being launched over Jerusalem. While no major casualties have been reported, the psychological effect on Israeli citizens and the political leadership has been enormous. In response, Israel has preemptively bombed Iranian-affiliated infrastructure in Syria and Lebanon, per Israeli Defense Forces, IDF briefings.
Israel advised civilians in Tehran to evacuate, especially near military installations.
While the IDF won't publicly confirm or deny involvement in covert strikes within Iran, Western intelligence has long asserted that Israel has the capability, through cyber warfare and intelligence operations, to sabotage Iranian facilities, including nuclear infrastructure. At the center of the crisis is Fordow, Iran's heavily fortified nuclear enrichment facility, buried deep under a mountain near Qom. The U.S. alleges this site could be used to enrich uranium to weapons-grade levels, something Iran denies but refuses to halt.
We're the only ones that have the capability to do it. But that doesn't mean I'm going to do it.
Why is this significant? Fordow is believed to be 300-plus feet underground, requiring advanced U.S. military assets for a successful strike. That includes GBU-57, A/B massive ordnance penetrators, 30,000 pounds, deployment via B-2 Spirit stealth bombers, air superiority and electronic warfare backup to avoid detection. Estimated cost of a strike on Fordow, logistics and bomber deployment, $1 billion, ordnance and targeting operations, $450 million, after-strike intelligence and site monitoring, $200 million, total, $1.6 billion for one mission. Any such strike would likely draw retaliatory ballistic attacks, including from Hezbollah in Lebanon and Iranian proxies in Iraq and Syria. CNN correspondent Fred Pleitgen reported live from Tehran. His team, the first Western journalist to enter Iran since the recent escalation, witnessed anti-aircraft fire lighting up the night sky, empty streets and shuttered shops, citizens fleeing the city in cars, triggering traffic jams stretching for miles, factory workers and truck drivers continuing business in the countryside, a strange calm in contrast to the capital.
I wake up each morning to the shaking of walls and windows in my home, while the shadow of war looms over the lives of Iranian citizens.
This is the real cost of brinkmanship, not just dollars or bombs, but human fear, flight, and fragmentation. Trump famously campaigned against the Iraq War. He ridiculed the Bush administration's false intelligence and forever wars. Yet now, he finds himself haunted by the same decision that loomed over President George W. Bush in 2003. Can he deliver a decisive strike that ends the threat without stepping into a years-long entanglement? Reminder: Iraq War reality check. The invasion in March 2003 was supposed to be over in weeks. By 2011, the U.S. had spent $2.1 trillion and lost over 4,400 American lives. Over 200,000 Iraqi civilians died. The power vacuum led to the rise of ISIS. Trump knows this history. He says he's weighing the aftermath, but as the military machine mobilizes, the aftermath may already be out of his hands. The war drums are pounding, missiles are already flying, carriers are positioning, and yet Trump says, "I haven't made a final decision." But in war, actions speak louder than indecision. Whether this ends in diplomacy or detonation, the next few days will shape global history. If Trump acts in the final second, we can only hope that second wasn't one too late. Thanks for watching.